Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Laura.
Oh my. We're starting out the night in the living room here with some very sad celebrity news. My favorito, mucho lovo for
love her.
Teri Garr.
Yep.
The Teri Garr passed away today. Oh, my heart is broken.
She was part of my childhood.
Totally.
She was like the iconic mom actress of the 80s.
She was.
I don't know. She was Mr. Mom. She was in Young Frankenstein.
Oh my God, Mr.
She was
Mom.
in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, there's all these movies that are from our era.
Probably my all-time favorite movie
Yeah.
is Tootsie.
Oh, she was great.
Where she played
She was great in
Sandy
Tootsie.
Lester. I love
Loved
it.
her.
Oh my God.
I love that movie.
Oh my God. That is my, if that is not my favorite movie, it's in my top 3.
I agree.
I mean, that was my
Totally.
all-time. And there's like, Sandy, she gets suicidal at a birthday party. I mean, she was so funny and he was so great.
She got nominated for an Academy Award for that role.
Best supporting actress for that.
And Jessica Lange won, I think, for her role in
I think
Tootsie.
Jessica Lange won for Best Actress.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. She was incredible. And that was like Jessica Lange, like gorgeous, young.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica Lange. And I
Yep.
just love the whole thing because it was, shot at CBS downtown at the television center. Like it was so New York and it was all behind the scenes and I was just sucking it up.
And it was a soap opera movie.
Oh, it was the greatest.
great.
It was the greatest.
It was
And Young Frankenstein. We're 2 days
Love.
before
And
Halloween.
I always think about that movie at Halloween because I love watching that with my family at Halloween.
And the
So,
amazing.
She
if
was
not-
amazing in that.
Excuse me, her and why am I forgetting my all-time favorite human being who's in that movie, Madeline Kahn.
Oh, she was great. too.
Madeline fucking Kahn. Oh my God.
If you have time, watch it on it's so much fun to watch it on Halloween.
Well, we're going to be here. Actually, sorry. We're going to be here on Halloween at my house. We're having a party outside.
That's right.
We're
Yeah.
going to give you guys an actual bird's eye view to the shenanigans that go on at my house.
Yep.
Lots of fog. There's a giant cemetery on my front lawn. Kristen and I will make a video and follow us, guys, on Instagram at Littler Podcast. LILTR. Is that right? I always confuse it.
LITLR.
No, ladies. LITLR. That's right.
Yeah.
LITLR.
Yeah.
Podcast. Ladies in the living room. Podcast. Anyway, follow us. We'll post something on Halloween, but we're talking about how we are just gonna get smashed.
Oh, I can't wait.
We get hundreds and hundreds of kids here, so it's super fun. But back to Teri Garr.
Yeah.
Just sad, and she had MS for I think upwards of 20 years. And I used to have a friend who worked at Cedars-Sinai and used to take care of her because that's where she used to go. They had a whole celebrity floor there and everything.
Of course.
Oh my God, it was
Right.
like a private entrance.
Yeah.
They would have their own sort of life in another part of the hospital. I think it was the 7th floor, I'm pretty sure. But she would always tell me that, Teri Garr, the nicest, loveliest, sweetest person. So why do the nicest, loveliest, sweetest people always are the ones to get sick? You know what I mean? Like, why are we not,
I know.
just the jackasses? There's just so many of them in
so
Hollywood.
many in that
Why can't they get
industry. I
the
know.
terminal diseases? But I was happy to hear that she was born in 44, so she was 79 years old.
Wow.
I think she lived, and I
Okay.
think that's hopeful for people like.
Yeah, she had MS for a while, didn't
Yeah, but
she?
our friend who just who I love, Christina Applegate.
Oh,
and
I know she's got MS.
she
I
has
can't
MS,
believe
and
it. She's like our age.
She is. She is.
right?
And who else has it is mezzo-soprano.
Mezzo-soprano.
But I'm forgetting
Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Jamie Lynn Sigler.
She's got
Thank
MS.
you.
I know.
So I think this is hopeful for them. And really,
Yeah.
MS is not something that does per se kill you. It just makes your life tough. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes it hard. We've seen it with Christina Applegate, right? Tough to walk,
Yep.
tough to move,
Yeah.
and you have flare-ups and so we say rest in peace, Teri Garr. Oh, how we loved you.
The icon of the 80s.
The funniest.
I'd say the icon of
and
the
by the way-
70s and the 80s.
And by the way, she was also Phoebe's mom,
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe Buffay's mom on Friends.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, she was, like, I feel
That's
like
right.
she
yeah.
was the Phoebe was sort of and I'm forgetting her name now. What is her real actual name?
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow. Thank you. You are coming up. You got fire. You're hitting the names tonight. Lisa Kudrow.
Yes.
Reminds me of Teri Garr. What excellent casting.
Good casting because they kind of look alike.
They do.
So you can,
and they're flighty and funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Essence.
That same kind of, ditzy, like, hi. Great. And she was so pretty, and she really had aged. I mean,
right.
But it's hard. We are all aging, so
I know.
It's tough when you look back and you see like the Teri Garr from Tootsie, who's like this, blonde, gorge, girl next door type.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sandy Lester.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in
Teri
peace.
Garr.
We loved you, Teri Garr.
Yeah,
all right, there's
best.
a lot going on, so let's do
so
a little
much in like the reality roundup world.
Lot
There's
in
so
the
much
space.
news
A lot going on in the space of reality. A lot happening in the space. Let's just say we were just talking about, Teri Garr's passing. Yeah. Let's talk about the death of Phaedra. Not actual death, but the Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Her Dancing with the Stars death. She got, now we do this on Tuesdays, so we're lapping a week.
Yeah.
But we do want to say, Phaedra, you crushed it.
She did.
Loved her Cruella de Vil.
Oh, she was perfect.
Cruella de Vil.
They're picking them more apart now because they're getting down to the end. So
right.
they get more
they're
technical on them.
They're getting nitpicky.
They're nitpicking
because
her
they're all
mistakes
freaking good who are left.
They're all good.
You know who really should have went home? I forget his name, the big tall guy, the big tall black man who's like the basketball. He's got to be a basketball or a football player.
I've been good on the names, and I'm
pretty
his.
good. He's like the only one I can't remember because he just, I don't know, if it's a sports figure, I'm always like, he should have been gone.
He's got a major challenge. He's like 7 feet tall. His partner's like 5'3".
He should have been gonzo. And
it's tough,
Steven Nedorozic should be out too.
Okay, and I like him.
I love him too, but
he's just full of love.
He's too rote.
But
he's just too.
It's just. Yeah,
he's
he
perfect.
Doesn't have,
He's a perfect technical dancer, like he is on the pommel horse, like make a right and a left and a kick and a shuffle of the buffalo. And that's Steph. And why am I touching you? I'm not sure, but I'm doing it. He's like a robot.
He doesn't have the finesse.
No, he's out. He should be out way before Phaedra.
Yeah.
So
you know what it is?
Girl
People
Phaedra.
just love Phaedra because she's just so popular. So I think, she didn't have the scores, but so many people are probably voting for her.
Reality royalty. I was shocked to see her go. Honestly, before those two.
I think she was in it to win it. She seemed like she was.
I don't think she was going to win it. She did make it pretty far down.
She did.
Because we are getting toward the end, and I want to talk about my boy Joey.
Oh, he was great.
Sweet little Joey. His pants are getting tighter every week, which I'm thrilled about.
And he was Tarzan with his hair.
And I like that they showed young Joey with long hair.
And he had the real long hair.
Young Joey is Tarzan.
I know.
But I will say, I think that what they're doing to Joey is because he's so freaking good. He got almost the lowest scores. Like somebody got 3 9s. And I was like, what are they doing with 3 9s? Like it was not as. Listen, they're all good.
Was it Danny Amendola? Maybe he
it
got
was
the
Danny.
9s.
I have it written down
or
somewhere.
Chandler.
Chandler always does well. Like they're never giving her a bad score, but I think they want us to have a little bit of like, is Joey gonna go home because of his scores? Even though Joey is fucking amazing.
He's amazing,
and so is Danny Amendola.
I think Amendola. I love her.
Amendola.
I love. Okay, so it's Danny, it's Joey, and it's Chandler. It's going to be down to them 3.
Danny, Joey, Chandler.
And Chandler might win it.
Oh, and Jen. Jen is actually very good, too.
Jen is very good,
I don't think Jen's going to win it.
She's going to win.
She's not going to win it. I think she's going to make it down to like maybe penultimate episode, maybe the one before.
Yeah.
But she's just not going to do it.
We all love her and are
But Chandler, I think Chandler's going to win the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, I think she's going to win.
Is she from Disney? She's a Disney girl,
She's
right?
a Disney, yeah.
She's those Disney. And this was Disney night. And quite frankly, I'm not a super Disney fan. So I was like, snoozer episode.
I'm
snoozer.
The same.
Not a huge Disney.
I'm not into
and
all
God
that.
bless because there's so many adults that love the Disney.
Oh, they love.
I'm always a little wary.
Yeah.
Always a little wary of that. But God bless it.
Bye,
If that's your
Phaedra.
thing, that's your thing. And Cruella de Vil. So
I loved her number.
You know,
and
quite
the way
frankly,
I loved her look.
I loved her hair.
it
And
all.
quite frankly, I think Phaedra needs a little rest.
Yeah, I think she's got a lot going on.
I feel like before she runs back to the mortuary,
Yeah.
she needs to go home and take a breather. All right, Phaedra, don't go back to the law firm.
Yeah.
Get out of the mortuary. and just go home and be with the kids for like a few days.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. So that's dancing with the stars. Da, da, da. This weekend in New York City. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Lindsay Hubbard had her baby shower for her hub cub.
That's cute.
It said baby hub.
Baby hub.
But
okay.
I don't know why where I came from with the hub
or
cub.
Was it called Cub Hub?
Or was it called Cub Hub? I'm not really sure.
Like that, yeah.
Although I found it interesting that it was at a place called the Paris Cafe in New York.
Okay.
And I happened to be in the city that day. And I was like, I was like, let me tell you, I Googled Paris Cafe. Can't find an address.
Okay.
Did Lindsay have it scrubbed from the internet so nobody could bunt in on her Cub baby shower? And it was a Jack and Jill shower. I saw Kyle there.
Yeah, there were men and women. She wanted that. I heard that.
Of course she wanted men and women, but I don't know. I like Lindsay. I'm going to wish her all the best. Of course, we want anybody having a new baby, but like
they say she's glowing and she's never been so
but
happy.
she
and I heard the baby daddy was there.
She's got a little mommy dearest in her.
She does.
We talked about that.
We did.
No more wire hangers ever. I mean, I could really do it. I'm not going to do it because my throat, but I can really get down and dirty with that. And I do think she has a little mommy dearest in her.
A little bit.
I don't think she's going to.
Just a little bit.
I don't think she's
Does
going
she have
to.
the patience?
She's not going to beat her child with like a jar of Bonami or AKA what was like Comet in the movie. I don't think she's going to do that. But I do think she's going to be bitchy. Like, what are you doing?
She's not gonna have the most patience.
What are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Get over
Why? What are you doing?
Get off that swing.
Stop judging me. Stop judging me for sleeping with everybody on the freaking planet before I had you. Anyway, good luck to the Lins. And I saw a quote from Lindsay, which I thought was pretty amusing. A quote from Lindsay, which was, if you feel like I've been pregnant forever, imagine how I feel. Because it does feel like Lindsay has been pregnant forever. It does, because we were talking about her back in May or June.
Yeah.
So
I feel like she's been pregnant for so long. And I think the baby's due, and they said the late fall, so that might be November.
Like
so
after
she might have,
Thanksgiving,
like,
right
another
around
month
when
to
we
go.
had our kid. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, well, I
ours,
was into December. You were in
November.
November. But I went into the hospital in November. Long story. We won't go into that. So,
Yes.
where are
Good luck
we
to Lindy.
now?
Lindsay. So we got Mormon wives. We have Whitney, who had her baby.
Billie Jean is not my lover. It's my baby.
So it is Billie Jean.
It's
That's the name
Billie,
of the baby.
Billy, Jean, like Gene Simmons, Gene. And they said
this has to be a Michael Jackson.
They said they
name.
like the neutrality of the name.
Okay.
Mum talk. But this is the baby that, of course, if we go back to Mormon Wives, where they baked the urine-soaked pregnancy test into the cake. And then we're like, here, family, eat urine. Suck on the urine cake.
Have a piece of cake where my pee stick is right in there.
Even her sister was like, is this the one you peed on? She was like, yeah, but it drags
There's a cap on it.
Yeah, so that was the pregnancy heard around the world. But they did have the third one. Her name is it's a boy. Name is Billie Jean. I don't know why they would name it Billie Jean for the well, I guess maybe those kids won't even know who Michael Jackson is.
No,
And
I'm surprised she knows who Michael Jackson is. I mean, she's
if
like,
you don't know who,
like 28, 29?
If you don't know who Michael Jackson is,
I know.
You should be actually beaten like Mommy Dearest beat baby Christina. You should be beaten because he's probably the biggest
probably born
celebrity
after
in the world.
That song came out.
Yes, because
definitely was, but-
Thriller came out in 1984
Wow.
when we were just puppies.
Yes.
What teens? Teens.
Mm-hmm.
Yo and Connor, I hope he leaves the porn addiction behind. He now has 3
hope that's
kids.
it.
Let's hope he's feeding the
Busy
kids and not
guy.
feeding the big banana. If you know with porn every night. Can you see him with his little porn mustache, Connor? He's got the porn. Go onto our page on Instagram, Littler Podcast. I have their picture, and you'll see his little porn mustache.
Oh, God.
It's /porn, 70s porn, or Hitler. Either one. So there's that.
Oh, we got
Do-da-doo, da-da-dee-dee-dee.
Oh.
Did
The trailer came out for Southern Charm.
ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s.
I just can't wait. It's December. Oh, God.
December 5th. December 5th. Southern Charm. And they did
So excited.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy trailer drop. And of course, it's annoying Austin, who I find so annoying and so gross.
What did you call him? A Honda?
Oh, I didn't call him that. The
Summer House people called him a Honda?
The nameless guy who was eating like 4 pounds of turkey meat every day, who was on Summer House for like one season, I forget his name. He was like, I don't understand. He had the greatest line ever, and then like he disappeared. He was like, I don't understand why all these women are, after Austin. He's like the Honda Civic of men, and I was like, oh, that is the best line I've ever heard. That is 100% freaking true. But I'm excited.
But what we got out of this trailer, well, first of all, I want to say this. I'm very upset about Olivia Flowers not returning. I know
she deserved.
She had an awesome season
and she
last year.
deserved to come back.
She deserved it. She brought so much to that last season.
She really did.
So
but you know what?
I can't believe they didn't bring her back.
I know. And she was like, I don't understand. And she was like, because I went out of town because they weren't calling me. And she was just like, they were like, oh, you've been out of town.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? I went to visit my parents. I would have come back to town.
I know. She said herself she was really bummed about it. She was ready to come back.
And she was pretty. And I liked her. And
her
poor brother died.
And it was like a love triangle with Taylor and
I thought she was
Austin
cool
and
but Taylor. But you know what?
Good.
Wait, we didn't. I don't know. Did we mention? And I don't know when it actually happened, but I'm sure it happened in this past week. Michael passed away.
Oh, yes.
Martini's up, Michael. Martini's
we loved
up.
Michael. Cheers.
Martinis.
To
We're
you.
drinking
Cheers.
Decoy, of course. Chardonnay, our Chardonnay of choice.
But he made the best cocktails ever. They
Miss
look
Pat,
so good,
Miss
even
Pat.
on TV.
Is it time for the Is it time for your medicine?
No one can
Michael,
make a
it's
martini
time
like him.
for my medicine. Can we get my medicine out?
And he was just so good with Pat. And she did honor him.
I loved Michael. Yeah, and you know what I love?
She really...
I love that she took care of him. I'm sure she was paying for his care, which
I'm sure.
Love it, Miss Pat.
Love Miss
Pat. Thank you.
Thank you.
We loved Michael.
You treated him so well.
We love Michael. So
we
that's
love him.
sad.
That's so sad.
But it looks like, Madison's back. And
I love Madison. I love Craig. I love Shep. I'm happy.
Craig
Taylor,
and Austin
I'm
are
not
fighting.
Crazy about she's back.
I don't like her either. She's a
I'm not a
wishy-washy
Taylor
little hooker.
No, she really
Sending the
is.
pictures remember of her vagina, and she was
Whitney?
like, she was sending pictures of her vagina, and she
Please.
was like, what was it, like open for business? She put on.
Yeah,
under it?
yeah.
Like,
something
who would send that?
I know.
Who would send that to anyone? And you're
think-
on a TV show. I don't know.
Shep broke up with her and she snapped. But something that I saw in the
Sheppy.
Sheppy. Something interesting I did see in the preview.
Talk to me. What was interesting?
Well, there's 2 new cast members that are coming on. One's someone that sexted with Craig. So she's a girl from Craig's past.
And she's not very attractive from what I could
No.
tell from the trailer. Not that
No.
she's ugly, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, but
No.
I mean, he was like into some beauties.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was saving the sexton for behind the scenes, like 3 o'clock when like he was ordering beef jerky online, and he was like, oh, let me order my beef jerky and let me sex this not so attractive gal. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe she's very beautiful. Not sure.
Yeah, maybe. And then there's another one who looks very beautiful, and I think she was on The Bachelor. I forgot her name already.
I don't know.
But she hooked up with Shep, and
Oh,
now she
of course
also
she
is
did.
the ex-girlfriend of Taylor's current boyfriend.
Oh, Christ.
So there's a bit of an incestuous
of course. But
triangle
don't you
there.
think they just seek these people out? Okay.
I know. Oh, of course they pick these people
The heat-sinking
out.
missile goes out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, great. Okay, great. Taylor's ex-boy.
that-
Oh,
bring her
fabulous.
in.
Taylor's
Bring her in.
boyfriend's ex. Oh, she hooked up with Shep.
Oh,
Get her
gotta
in
bring
there.
her in.
Of course.
And one other thing I noticed
What did
was
you
that
notice?
there looked like there's some kind of an attraction going on between JT
Oh, yes.
and Vanita.
He's like,
I'm
are we on the same
"What?"
page with this? And she's like, uh-huh.
Okay, weird.
Unless she then goes, psych.
Maybe,
Unless she.
maybe they left that
No,
out.
I don't think so. I kind of think JT, he's as big
I
of a-
don't mind
I don't
him.
mind it. He's
I
a
don't.
big goober, but he does have an awesome body.
Yeah, he does. He's a bit of a
But
Napoleon
the
complex.
face is, leaves a little bit, neck
He's-
up,
Yeah, yeah.
not
but
so fabulous.
I think he'd be very good to whoever he was dating.
I think so too. And
He
he's
seems
of
that
course
kind of
was
guy.
married. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay, anyway, so
Southern
this will be a
Charm.
good season.
Always a good idea. Moving on. Always a good idea.
Yes.
Anything with London. Anything. So, Housewives
I was going to say Ladies
London.
of London. Housewives of London.
Always a good idea.
I love it.
London isn't London always a good idea, no matter when you hear it. Like
for sure.
London
for
town.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean the OC ladies are in London.
Oh, I know.
They're literally just tearing it up with crying and screaming. Through the whole thing. Poor London. They're dirtying it up. They're dirtying the streets.
London ladies will put people in their place.
Oh.
So just
and
like the ladies of London did, I think it's going to be great.
And they look proper while they're doing it, darling.
They're throwing you a nasty dig.
While they're stabbing you in the back, they're going to be like, "Oh, darling, you look gorgeous." But anything with a English accent, I'm in love. I'm sold. I used to work for a woman who had an English accent, and I'd be like, "Oh wait, you call them because you're the English accent." They immediately
just say anything.
They immediately think you're smart, and they immediately will do whatever you say. You don't want me like the New Yorker calling up like, "Hey, hi, how are you?
What's up?
Yeah, nice to see. Yeah, so anyway." It doesn't have the same ring as somebody who's like, "Hello, how are you this evening? It's a fine evening."
Oh, hello.
Anyway,
well, so it looks like it's they're casting it now. It's going to drop next year. I think the end of next year, and it's going to be on some station called Hayu, Hayu.
It's not on Bravo.
So it looks like Hayu is affiliated. It's owned by NBC, but it is affiliated with Bravo.
Got it.
What they're saying is it's either going to drop on Peacock or Bravo.
All right.
So either one.
You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing is they're trying to get their viewers over to pay streaming service.
Of course.
But wait, you came in the house and you mentioned something unbelievable. Moving on to the next topic.
Oh my God.
Brandi Glanville and
she
crazy ass Brandi.
A killer tweet the other day.
Read me this freaking you got halfway through and I was like, save it. Save it. Tell me on the pod. Tell me.
I am reading the tweet right now.
Tell me.
Here's what she writes.
Tell me.
Happy Sunday Fun Day. It's been almost 2 years now since a lying, short, red-haired, closeted old lesbian ruined my life. Girl, lean into the rainbow. It's a beautiful space. When you come out, your family will be able to finally speak their own obvious truths.
You know who she's talking about, everybody. You know who she's talking about.
We know who she's
Caroline Manzo.
Yes.
Caroline Manzo and the big lawsuit that happened when they were on the Ultimate Girls trip. They were in Europe.
So that was 2 years ago.
I can't believe it was. And by the way, that show is that Ultimate Girls trip.
It's done.
It will never see the light of day.
No, it will not.
And Caroline just says
this is
that
like a big ass lawsuit.
Caroline always just says that it's Brandi did something inappropriate to her. But like she grabbed her, vagina or something, or she went in. I think Brandi just uses pussy. Brandi just says pussy. Oh, when I grabbed her, I don't know what Brandi's saying. However, that is hysterical. Embrace the rainbow.
Embrace the rainbow.
Well, Caroline.
Well, she put embrace the, and then she put the rainbow emojis.
Yeah, I love her. Brandi, as trashola as she is on a
love
lot
her
of shit,
I
she
swear.
just doesn't care. She's always
she doesn't care.
And she's this like tall, gorgeous woman, but she's also another freaking crazy pants.
She's crazy. She's out of her mind. But she did make a good housewife.
She made a great. I loved Brandi.
Oh God, every week
she
you're
was
like,
freaking
what
nuts.
explosion is Brandi gonna come out with next?
And then she looks like she's kind of been punched in the face. Like she's got that lip problem from too much Botox or too much filler or something. But she still is a stunning, beautiful woman. She's like 7 feet tall. She's got a crazy body.
Well, you know what it is? She lost her income, so she's not her lawyers.
I know. I always feel bad for her.
She can't get hired.
She was married to Eddie. What's his name? Eddie Cibrian.
Yeah,
who's just
Leanne Rimes.
Oh, who's the grossest? When they would fight. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Leanne Rimes. She's another nutbag.
Yeah, she seems like
she's crazy. Brandi is crazy calculated.
She's out crazy. Everyone knows it.
Leanne Rimes is really nutto.
Okay.
Bad acne, screaming at you, red face, these are my boys. What? Didn't I give birth to them?
Poor Brandi.
Nutbag.
I just feel
Absolute
like she can't get a
nut
break,
can.
but she's so mad she had to put that out because it's a 2-year anniversary. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Brando.
Well, what I kind of heard
Brando.
was that whatever was filmed with that, whatever happened between the two of them, Caroline did not want it to come out. So she was like, I got to squash this. And then she made the whole lawsuit thing. So like
She doesn't want
bury this
She doesn't want it
video.
getting around the Brownstone. That
No.
she might like. That she might like a little. She might be a little clam digger. She doesn't. She might. She don't want that getting around the.
No.
Not you think Al Manzo, her husband, would appreciate this, or maybe he might be like, Caroline, this is the first time you've turned me on sexually in like 45 years. Thought you might be with another woman. Meanwhile,
You gotta
fucking
wonder.
Lauren Manzo is so freaking skinny.
Oh, I know. She looks great. She
I
looks like-
want her body now.
her daughter Lauren looks like a different person.
Fellow fat chick
Yeah,
to
right.
former fat chick. Lauren, will you get online and tell us what you did?
Ugh.
Oh my God, you look amazing.
You know who I get her confused with because she lost a lot of weight too is Jill Zarin's daughter Allie. It's the
Allie,
same
who
thing.
got
They kinda
engaged
look
this
alike,
past
and they
summer.
got very
Yeah, they
thin,
do.
right?
Although Lauren
get
is
them
like
confused.
hot to trot now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when she's standing next to Chelsea DeMonaco, who is Albie's wife now,
right.
they look like two little hot Somali Italian
Yeah,
gals. Like
yeah.
Lauren's
them.
in the game now. Lauren is in the game.
So, do we want to go to? Well, here's what we talked about this. We are really not happy with Real Housewives of New York.
Oh my God.
I just don't think
Okay,
it's worth recapping.
I'm telling you, it's not. Listen, I'm telling you. Look, I'm saying it here.
Yeah.
If they didn't just reboot the fucking thing, excuse my mouth, 2 years ago, I want it rebooted.
What is going on?
What is
with this
happening?
show?
I'm
It's
sorry.
just so lost.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Is this so?
sucks.
Roaches in the Pavlova?
Oh, that was
This
the
is
highlight
what
of
is
that
funny?
stupid ass show. Oh, the roaches in the
What?
Pavlova, and then Sai and Uba go and throw up. That's what the show is.
I am throwing up.
Oh,
It
God,
served
was
Erin
so
right that they were
stupid.
throwing up in her bathroom.
No.
But then you see awkward as F. What's her name? Jenna fucking Lyons.
She's so
sitting there with the
awkward.
roaches on her nipples in her latex.
Yeah, she was putting it in her latex.
I'm like, what is happening on this
bodysuit or-
stupid freaking show? It was the
No,
dumbest.
I'm not
The only part of the
impressed.
episode that actually was like, oh, that's nice, is that they were all cooking Shabbat dinner. Like, and it was like,
Okay.
because it was the Jewish holiday, I think,
Right,
where it
right.
had just been
Where
the
they
Jewish
were in
holiday.
Sag
And I was
Harbor.
like, okay, well, that's nice. Let's talk about like maybe the meaning of Shabbat. Like,
I
educate
know.
people who might not be familiar with the Jewish religion. And I got to tell you, who else drives me up a fucking wall? I am dropping the F-bomb tonight everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Italian alphabet tonight. Fucking A, fucking B. I feel like that's what I'm doing tonight. But let me just tell you that I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very hot. All of a sudden, the wine's made me hot.
Mm.
Rebecca Minkoff. What another wackadoo.
Oh,
Every soundbite.
She's awkward. And she doesn't have anything interesting to say.
Every soundbite from this chick, one is weirder than the next.
No.
So I want to breastfeed my kids until I can lift up my shirt. And
Oh,
it says, "Mommy,
that.
can I have your boobies?" I'm like,
No.
okay, weird.
Her child is 3, I think, and she's still breastfeeding.
She's like, well, when they have teeth, okay,
Yeah,
we got to draw the line.
Exactly.
Draw the
Thank you.
Mommy, hi, can I have mommy?
When they're actually
Mommy.
eating food, you kind of go,
Ew.
okay, I think you're done
They've
with
got
the
teeth.
breastfeeding.
That's
Kate.
got to freaking kill.
No.
Okay, A and B. Sorry, that B. I didn't think she was. Not that I'm saying she's old, but I didn't think she was young enough to have an infant.
Yeah, I
She
know.
looks
I wonder
much
how
older.
Old she is.
She said, I
so-
think she said she's 41 or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Number 3, Erin had a great point when she was like, Erin had a great point when she was like, so she's a Scientologist who's Jewish. I just don't get it. Erin,
Well, then why don't
I
they
don't get it
ask
either,
her?
Erin.
I
I'm
don't
raising
get
my
it
hand. I don't
either.
get it.
I don't know.
What's happening?
How do you combine those two religions?
How are
right?
you a
It's-
Scientologist?
But really, I don't even care. Like, it's just
I
not
don't.
interesting.
I
to
have
me.
zero. The more
don't
I see
care.
her,
No.
the less I care. She's If she lasts more than this season, I will be shocked.
Oh, God.
I will be shocked.
Yeah, I know.
Jenna Lyons, she might be the nicest woman ever. People are like, she's the nicest girl. And I'm sure she
lovely
is.
in her own way, but there's nothing interesting about her.
What are you doing on this show? She clearly doesn't want to get into the mud, and I don't blame her.
Then she shouldn't be on the show.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Because you can't rock with the size.
No.
And the
Bryn.
And the Bryn. Bryn who reminds me of Jessica Rabbit. That's all I see. Is like, hi. Hi,
what
Bryn.
did you call her? You had a good name for her.
I think, a minx. She's a minx.
She's a minx.
She's a minx.
Yeah.
She's like,
but
I slept with him. I didn't sleep with him. Do I have a benefactor? Maybe. Do I have a rich man who's helping me pay my rent? Maybe. Maybe it's your husband. I'm a minxie.
You can call me mother.
I'm a minx. And then she's like, I can't stand it. All they're doing is being mean to me. Uba, you're a pigeon. It's a pigeon.
Oh.
What the fuck is going? Excuse me.
Uba is so.
What is happening on this show?
Bryn. I don't know.
And they were fighting over
I don't
nothing.
even know what her and Bryn are fighting about. It's stupidity.
The only, and now
really
we've talked about
is.
it way longer than we wanted to.
No, I know.
The only
we're giving it more time than it deserves.
We're giving it way more time. I'm just picking out the little things, and
it's just stupid.
I cannot stand. And I swear to God, she didn't talk like this last season. Jessel. Why does Jessel speak the way she speaks? And she's like, when she was grating the cheese over her potatoes or something, she was like, this is harder than giving a hand job. Like, what is going on with the way that Jessel talks?
And at least the hands
and
have
she's
you
like,
release.
Yeah,
so
and then she's
stupid.
like, Pavitt, you're such an asshole. Like when she was saying that, right? Mommy's always sleeping, isn't she? What? Don't tell the kids I'm always sleeping.
Oh, God.
What are you saying? What?
Not funny.
What is happening on this show?
No.
Horrible.
Boring.
Bravo.
I
Re-edit.
couldn't wait for this last
Do
episode to
something.
end.
Re-edit upcoming episode. Something. Because
Until
there is
then,
absolutely zero going on. And they're talking
not
about
worth talking
nothing.
they're talking about
Horrible.
nothing.
So we are moving on.
We are moving on. Bye, Roni. Pick it
So
up.
instead, what is so freaking unbelievable is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh,
they don't
it
fucking
is
disappoint.
So
Can you
good.
imagine how many F-bombs I've dropped today? I'm dropping them everywhere. I can't even pick them up fast enough. I'm dropping them all over, but I'm in an FU kind of mood.
I know. It's just, it's great. Well, we've got some really good housewife shows on right now. We've got Salt Lake City. We've got OC. We have Potomac, which I haven't been watching because there's so many things going on, and I love Potomac.
If New York keeps pulling this bullshit, we are
gonna
dropping them.
abandon it.
We are
Yes.
dropping them and moving to Salt Lake and in Potomac.
Yeah,
because
definitely
we are dropping the hammer.
I'm sorry. You ladies have
Dropping
to
the
deliver.
fucking hammer.
I think these ladies on New York, the last thing I'll say about it, they're cautioning themselves too much. They're hiding too much. Like Uba, we don't see Oliver.
Uba,
Jenna, we don't see
we
your
want to have baby.
fiance. I forgot her name. Erin, you don't want to talk about certain things.
And by the way, Jenna Lyons is engaged. Where's her girlfriend?
You can't see her. She doesn't want to be on the show. That's what
all
I'm
right,
saying.
I get that, but still, I would.
It's just
Jenna,
tell us
Jenna,
something.
I would love to see who your
bring
your
us in.
fiance is.
Yes.
Bring her in, and then that big engagement ring on the other lesbian on the show. I forget her name. That's
I
why
know,
the only reason.
Actually,
I like her.
She's interesting.
I like her, and I think
and it was
she's
touching
beautiful.
about the story with her
Yeah.
father, who she doesn't.
That
have
was
a
nice, and then
relationship.
Bryn and her. But I think she's absolutely like stunning.
She is. Oh,
I think
definitely.
she's gorgeous, and like
Yeah.
I think she's super cool, but somehow is not translating over.
Yeah.
She's very awkward too. Like, not that she's awkward.
I think she's reacting
she's
to the other
awkward
ladies.
in this group, but this is an
Yes.
awkward ass group.
It's an awkward ass group. They're not all connected at all.
Bravo.
So-
Bring me in there. Bring Kristen in there. We will make this
We'll
a
make it.
fun
We'll shake it up.
group. We'll make this a fun group. I will show
We will.
Roaches in the Pavlova.
Oh,
come
please. No,
now.
Thank you.
Come now. I'm looking straight into the camera for our YouTube watchers. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh my
God.
God. So do you want to talk a little bit about Salt Lake City and
yeah, let's talk a bit. What is like the main thing you want to talk about from it?
Wow. Well,
Is it
You know
insane?
what it is? Here's what I'm going to say about Salt Lake City. Every single one of the ladies is delivering. They're all good. All of them. Even the
Why
friends
isn't
are
it being
good
like
on this
pushed
show.
more? And maybe it's because it's Salt Lake.
It's Salt Lake.
But it does. That has a big following.
It does. No, it does. It's an excellent season. Everybody's saying it so far. But we've got I think the main on that show is Lisa Barlow. Everybody talks about
Lisa Barlow everywhere. Lisa Barlow
everywhere. But she's basically what's going on right now is that she's in a big feud with Whitney Rose.
Oh, Whitney Rose.
So she's coming, I think, for Whitney's business, supposedly.
Now that's not right.
But Whitney got like secondhand information from, we think, you know who she might have gotten this from?
Who?
Adam from Up and Adam.
Oh.
Whitney and got her to understand.
Up and Adam. Wait, they are talking.
Someone's coming for your business, and it's somebody that owns a liquor company. And the only housewife on that show that owns a liquor company is Lisa Barlow.
What's the name of her liquor company?
She's got tequila, and I forgot the name.
Tequila.
Of it.
Wait, you're telling me they're talking about Up and Adam guy on there?
Adam,
oh my God!
It hints that it's Adam from Up and Adam.
He must be the happiest dude on the freaking planet.
Listen to him. We gotta listen to him and see if he brings this up, because
of course he's bringing it up if they're talking about him.
She was on the phone with her friend, and it sounded like Adam from Up and Adam. So anyway,
I like Adam.
I like him too. He's good. But I think that Lisa and Whitney are at serious odds. Lisa and Angie are at some pretty big odds, because Angie, who threw this last episode, which was great, a mafia party, because she's Greek, and someone made reference
to the Greek mob.
Are you in the Greek mafia? So to kind of make fun of it, she had
a
25th wedding anniversary party, and she made it a mafia themed party. So she kind of poked fun at herself. It was great.
That's great, and I love when people have a sense of humor about themselves.
And she does. And anyway, so she had her mafia themed party. She's got some issues with Lisa because she insinuated that Lisa is not a great mom because she lets her son game all day. Don't go for the kids.
When you go for the kids, it's where the problems arise. As we are finding out in OC, which we will talk about momentarily. But we've got that going on. And one part that I think is so funny in this show is one of the friends of Brittany, who she's really making a staple for herself on the show, even though she's a friend of. Well, she might get herself on there.
She might. And she is on again, off again with Jared Osmond, who is the nephew
I know all
of
about
the
this.
Osmonds.
Yeah, well, anything.
And he is such a douche. He is the biggest douche. But
he's been on the show?
He's been on the show.
How have I missed that?
He totally looks like an Osmond, by the way.
They all look this freaking
same. Alike.
There's 7 million of them. And
you know they're in Salt Lake City because they're Mormon.
Of course. And they are royalty.
They're royalty. One of them, I think it was Heather, said he's like the Prince Harry of Salt Lake.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
That's how much of royalty
and the fact
the
that
Osmond
he's
family is.
Getting on the show.
He's on the show. He treats this poor girl Brittany like crap, and she's in love with him. He's breaking up with her. He's treating her like crap.
And I'm sure he's the Osmond that has no cash. I mean, really, the only two that have the do-re-mi are freaking Donnie and Marie.
Of course.
Marie with her Dolly line and her Nutrisystem. I mean, she's been hawking herself for years. Donnie,
of course.
Out in what?
Yeah.
But the offshoots, not so much.
Yeah.
You know? They don't have the Vegas residencies that
they don't.
Donnie and Marie have had.
But I think I heard that there's even it's called Osmond Lane. Like there's a whole street named after
Of course
them.
there is.
I think that they all live there.
Oh my God. They live on Osmond Lane. Have you been to Osmond Lane? There's a lot of big teeth and brown hair. Yeah. That's what's going on Osmond Lane. And there's a lot of fa la 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 la. There's just a lot of notes singing through the air.
So that storyline alone makes this show very interesting. And the last thing that I'll say is I love Mary Cosby. Cosby.
Yeah.
She is absolutely hilarious. The stuff that comes out of her mouth
underrated.
Is so funny.
Underrated.
Totally
underrated.
But hysterical. So
I agree.
There's just so much.
Very underrated though. And you really, unless you're really watching Salt Lake, and they really don't really give it the props that it deserves.
I know.
It's crushing New York.
There.
It's crushing
totally
New York.
Crushing
New York is
totally crushing New York.
So
yes. Yeah.
Anyway.
But the so it's really, really good. Oh, and there's a new housewife this season who is amazing. Bronwyn.
Oh, Bronwyn.
Bronwyn is the best. She's got very eccentric taste.
Eccentric,
and love these
really?
crazy ass outfits that she wears.
Yeah, I know.
So
Her
she's
clothes
good,
are crazy.
and she's just bringing it every single episode. So this is a very, very good season. I think what we should do is going forward, we're going to just start recapping Salt Lake City.
We got to bring it in because
and we're going to ditch New
great.
York. I'm sorry. I think we should
New
ditch
York.
New York.
We're only talking
It's
about
just
New
not
York
worth
unless
talking
something is
about.
worthy of speaking about.
Yeah.
This episode
something
was
pops.
ridiculous. And it wasn't even like, like Erin has a very nice home for Sag Harbor. That's a beautiful home.
It's beautiful.
But it's not like we're talking about like they're giving us the tour and you know what I mean? It's a lovely, comfortable home.
Yeah.
But it's just falling so flat.
It really
Oh,
is.
it's falling so flat.
Yeah.
Listen,
It better pick up.
before
It's
I
on
think
life support right
are we good
now.
on Salt Lake?
We are good.
Before we jump into OC, I think we need to cover quickly. Not even quickly. We just need to Golden Bachelorette.
We got to go to Golden
Joni
Bachelorette.
Joni Vassos.
my
It was
goodness.
hometown week, man. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's funny. This week, I felt like, we'll talk about the hometowns.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like we saw an insecure Joan this week
I think so.
because she was very worried about, will they pick me?
I know.
Will they pick me? And I feel like that's
Valid.
I feel like that's valid. I would be worrying too because
Yeah.
on her hometown date with Pascal, I loved his salon.
Oh, it was
His
great.
salon was
in
fabulous. It had like an
Chicago.
oriental not an oriental. It it had like an oriental rug when you first went in, and it had like a brown staircase. I loved that kind of old, almost Hogwarts Hogwarts-esque
Yeah,
feel to it.
it did.
Like an old rich home.
Yes.
And then of course there was and it was probably 30 chairs in there.
Oh, it was huge.
So go Pascal.
Yeah,
but
he's very successful.
He is. But I also for a minute I could see them together, and then I'm like, no. They rolled out in his Porsche. His kids are as good looking as he is.
Oh, they're very good looking.
And
What does he have? 2 sons and a daughter and a grandson.
Yeah, I think, but everything is, it was just great. It was very upscale. And he tells Joan that he's guarded a little bit.
Yeah.
And were you the
I
one
think
that told
made
me?
her a little.
But were you the one
worried.
that told me that he's going to leave of his own volition this week?
Yeah, I was
Holy
reading
crap.
something. Now, I don't know if they're jumping ahead. Maybe it's fake news.
I don't know if I saw. Could
but
be
I
fake
thought
news.
I saw something
Could
that
be.
he self-eliminates next week. But did you see the preview?
But I don't think she's picking him anyway, and I think he knows it.
I
and
think maybe that's why.
And I
Maybe.
think he's probably like, you know what, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm happy.
Joan in Maryland is not
Mhm.
going to be in the salon lifestyle that I want of her. She's not
Their
going to sit in
worlds
salon
are
all
not
day.
Going to work.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and she doesn't strike me as like she wants to sit in salon. Now, if it was me, I'd be in the salon all day. Will you bleach my eyelashes, please, Pascal? Will you do my hair in 20,000 different colors, please?
Yeah.
Will you give me Hollywood glam hair curlers, please? I would be loving it. But
Yeah.
Joan's like,
How much do
wash
they
and wear.
have in common? That's
I don't
the
think.
thing.
I don't think so.
I don't think she's going to pick him. And you're right. Maybe he knows that. It was very sweet to see her with Guy in his family.
Yeah,
He's
the
got a
guy
very sweet family.
on
even
their
though
boat,
We've got this
on the
restraining
boat
order
on the
thing.
boat in Lake Tahoe. That's not also going to work.
Yeah.
He
well,
loves-
Again, they have totally different worlds.
She likes Guy. He's a great listener, she
Yeah,
says.
he's a good
Guy's a great
listener.
listener.
And I was sad to see Jordan go home because it did seem like he has a very nice family and he's got his children and his brother. Were those
Hold
his brothers?
on.
Right?
Well, first of all, I love that he had a lesbian daughter and the
Yeah.
partner there. Love that.
Yeah,
Always
right.
love a teachable moment or just
Sure.
like a representation on TV.
Sure.
So we love that.
Yes.
However, if you go to our Instagram page at Li,
Right.
I never get it right. Littler Podcast, LITLR Podcast. You will see that when they were out on their date and they had a little Chicago deep dish, and then he's like, "This is the best cake in Chicago." And if you look on our Instagram page, you'll see that he had a major chubby while he was eating the cake. And I think Joan was probably
The
like,
cake was getting him a little excited.
Joan was like, "Put the baby anaconda away." I think that was enough to set Joan to be like, I'm sending his butt home. Oh, there's somebody at the door. It's probably, that, isn't that funny? And I bet you know who it is.
that.
I bet you it's Amazon going, hey, girl, we got a package for you. You know what I ordered? You know what I ordered? And I think it is it was definitely Amazon. But you know what I think it is?
What? Tell me.
I got totally sucked into ordering from ALT Fragrance because it's all over my Instagram. And it's Baccarat Rouge, which is like a $640 perfume.
Really?
For like $69. It's supposed to be the greatest dupe on the market.
Okay.
And listen, I don't mind paying for a perfume,
Okay.
right? But $640. But the bigger story here is that I'm sucked into these freaking Instagram purchases.
Oh, I know. I get sucked
I'm
into
so
them
sucked
too.
in.
I
I
want to
buy
buy
so much
everything.
shit.
Oh God.
And it actually told me that it was I was like 10 stops away or something. So I think it's my dupe fragrance
oh, I
of
gotta smell
Baccarat
this.
Crystal.
Oh, I gotta see.
But the bigger story is that I'm sucked into buying shit.
Yeah,
on
I
this
just brought
damn-
a self-grooming kit for my dog on
Self-gro-
Instagram.
What, the dog gonna groom himself?
Well, like I could do it. Like,
right. No,
because he can't go
I
to the
saw
groomer
that.
because he's
I
full of
almost bought that,
anxiety.
and I don't even have a fucking dog.
I just
It looks so
just got
cool.
to it looks so. It's like a
Profession-
vacuum. You
yes.
just stick it on your dog.
Professional
And it
grooming at
trims all the hair
home.
off.
Professional grooming at home. I almost
Yes.
bought it with no dog.
Yes,
So there you
yes.
have it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what was going on at the front door.
Oh, but also, we were talking about Jordan real quick. So it looks like there was a picture of him.
Oh, and
with
Leslie
one-
Fahima.
Okay, from the Golden Bachelor.
Leslie was the
So maybe
fitness
he's
instructor.
already found
She was the
somebody.
runner-up.
She was the runner.
I never thought Leslie was all that big a chipper-rose.
Okay.
But
Maybe he should.
everybody
be good for
else did.
Jordan.
But I thought she was a nice woman. But she
Okay.
was definitely down to the end.
Okay.
And I'm surprised actually that Jerry didn't run back to her because
Okay.
she was the runner.
was
The
she
runner-up.
devastated? I didn't.
She was
see the Golden
Teresa's
Bachelor.
runner-up.
Was she devastated when he didn't choose?
I mean, I
her?
think she was kind of because he was like, "You're the one. You're the one." Like
Oh,
when they were in the
boy.
fantasy suites, like.
Yeah.
I think I can see this.
Yeah.
I can see a future. And then when Teresa was like, well, I have 7 licenses and I trade. And she was talking about, and he was like, ring, cha-ching, cha-ching,
Ooh.
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I think when he realized that Teresa had some do-re-mi in the bank, he was like, oh, bye, Leslie. Bye. Bye, girl. Bye, girl. So Golden
we're
Bachelorette. So Jordan
went home.
Jordan and his chubbo
Okay,
went.
Who
went
do
home.
you think? Bye, Jordan, and your chubbo.
If
Who do you
Pascal
think
goes
she's
home,
gonna pick?
I really do think it will be down to Guy and Chalk, and I honestly think she's gonna choose one of them, and I'm thinking she's
can't
probably gonna choose
tell.
Chalk, and then I don't think it's gonna work out with either one, to be honest. They
Mm.
might date. I don't think they're gonna marry.
I don't know if they're gonna marry.
I don't know. I mean, Joan says she wants to be part of a couple. Oh, I feel like a dog. She get off like a dog. You know when you get like an
Oh, I get that all the
you
time.
get like an itch in your middle ear, and you're like, let me
Yeah.
just sit here and do this like a dog. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see her and Chalk really working after the show because he's been giving me the creepy ick vibes.
He's giving me the creeps.
the way he's
too.
just been on her.
Yeah,
You know.
I know.
And it was nice. They went to his hometown. They did a
They did
tree
a ceremony
planting for his mother, which
Yep.
I thought was nice.
That was being wanting Joan to be part of that. His family seems lovely. You
Of
know
course,
what?
all
Here's
their
what I'm gonna
families
say.
seem
all
great.
their families are lovely. So this has got to be
But
hard
Jordan,
for poor
Jordan
Joan.
was the easy toss off.
Yes, he was. We all knew he was going to go.
He was going.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's going to be
So
tomorrow
bye.
night.
Now we're going to see. Now she's doing the fantasy suites, but she's not letting them sleep. Is that right? Like she
No
doesn't
bed in the
want-
fantasy
No
suites.
bed in the fantasy suite.
She wants to get down
She
and
can't
talk
be with
about it.
More than one man.
She wants to talk about it.
Yeah. So
Although
I respect.
I've
Joan.
heard she has a scorching case of herpes. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Just joking. Just joking.
Oh, that's great.
Joan is. I'm
Joan
sure
is-
Joan is very
Joan
cleansed.
is a player.
I'm sure Joan is cleansed, and maybe I'm sure that
She's
I'm sure the bakery has been closed for quite a
couple of
while.
years, I'm
Mhm.
sure. Okay, so do you want to talk about OC?
Now we got to get into OC. So
Because
anyway, we
it
will
was
keep our eye on it.
so
We're almost
good.
done with the Golden Bachelorette, but I love it. But OC was crazy freaking good.
It was so good.
on the opposite end of New York.
Yes.
OC was good, right? from right from the jump.
Well, there were so many things
Oh
going
my
on.
God,
with the
there
OC.
was so much.
Like it was actually, was it hard for you to, not in a bad way.
I followed it.
It was hard for me to follow
you have
some
to-
of this because I was like, wait a minute. Gina pushing Travis down the stairs.
Well, there was
Emily
just
and her twins.
if you break it down, it's
Yeah.
really just been Shannon and Tamara just going after Shannon, giving up every dirt
Giving it all
they had.
out. Yeah.
And
Now Tamara's giving all the dirt out.
Oh,
so.
Tamara, listen. Unfortunately, if it was going to go Tamara's way this season, she would be like getting a gold star.
Yeah.
But all that she's doing is just making you hate her more and more and more.
It's working totally against her. Instead of everyone kind of rallying behind the villain, everyone is rallying around Shannon. It's just working against her agenda. She had an agenda, and it's just not. It didn't go in her direction.
Not. I mean,
let's pick it up.
Let's pick it up from boom, because it got cut off after Jen gave it to Tamara, and Tamara looked like the ultimate old hag sitting there getting her glam done.
Such a hag getting her glam.
And I like how she was
her
just
extensions weren't in. I mean,
she just looked horrible.
She looked like a mess.
And I like that she was like. Jen was like, look, Heather, she's only here because your friend, because she's sitting in front of you. Mm-hmm. And she was like, get your head out of Tamara's ass.
She's right.
And, Heather, blah, blah, blah. How is Heather defending her? I don't know. And Heather tries to be Miss Thang and tries to be Miss Proper. And let me tell you.
No, Heather's not looking good.
She's not looking good because she's sitting next to the mudslinger that is Tamara. And that mud is going from Tamara on getting Heather dirty.
On her.
You cannot
and she's still
pull.
Trying to deal with the mud.
You cannot pull prim and proper.
No, you can't.
Hanging out with Tamara that much.
No.
And I love how Jen threatened her. I love how Jen's like, be careful, Tamara.
Yeah.
Your mouth has gotten you in trouble before. Be careful.
You better
and I'm
shut
like,
your mouth.
Good. Like, I'm so happy. And then I love that after they're going in.
And then Tamara says, what are you going to do? Put a hit on me? I mean,
that was at dinner. That was at the end, which was so stupid. But I love that. In the beginning, Heather and Tamara are talking about it, and then Heather's like, "Oh my God, I totally had tummy envy. I had stomach envy. Her gut is
Didn't
her tummy."
They sound like the ultimate mean girl?
I was like, and then she's like, "I totally."
Jen did look amazing, and
Jen is very
Tamara
pretty.
Said she doesn't have she has a belly button. What are you talking
about?
about?
She's like, no. And then Heather's like, hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on, it's gonna kill my whole gig. I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
Okay.
Grapefruit. I heard if you're going to sneeze, you look up and say grapefruit at a light, and it works. Grapefruit.
Oh, okay.
See, I didn't sneeze. Isn't that crazy? You got to look up at the light.
Good trick.
However, she said,
yeah.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, we were talking about her tummy tuck.
Oh, right. And she goes, what?
Heather
goes, shh, Tamara, don't talk about other people's surgery. She's like, oh my God, what do you mean? Everybody knows she has no belly button. She has no belly button.
Oh, please.
I was like, all right, now.
Give me a break. So
now we rock.
Whether she got a tummy tuck or not, who cares? She looks fabulous. She looked fabulous telling her off. I'm sorry, Tamara. You looked like a horror show.
Oh, she was like, you look, no. She said she looked hot. Katie said, because her and Katie are now becoming friends.
They're
and by the way,
friends,
I have decided that I do not like Katie.
You don't like Katie.
I've decided. It just happened.
I feel like I still like her.
It just happened this episode.
Okay.
I don't like her. And I really, my superstar is Jen.
Oh, she's the center.
Jen has come out as my favorite.
She's the MVP of the season.
She's come out to be my favorite person.
Yeah.
Now, so now we're talking about Tamara starts talking with Jen, right? No, about Jen. And she says some guy told her, who is that?
Oh, some guy at the gym?
Some guy who said
that?
that Ryan was involved in a lawsuit where they were selling timeshares and they were taking HOA fees when there wasn't even anything built yet.
Right.
She's like, people went to jail. And she was like, it was in another country.
Oh,
I was like, what are you talking about?
What did she mean when she said something about Leslie Bedore's ex-husband?
Right. So basically, she, of course, tells her best friend at the time, Shannon, and Shannon's like, oh my God, you need to get the dirt on this.
Yeah.
Because Leslie Bedore, maybe that was David's sister?
Current, or
something.
Current
ex-husband was named in the lawsuit.
Sister. Okay, got it.
And Shannon said, like, do you know anyone who can look into this? And that is why. So the reason why she's saying
did the
this.
quote unquote background check.
Right. And she's saying, listen, it's because Shannon wanted it. And she was saying, and it was somebody named Taylor. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe Taylor Armstrong.
Because her husband's a lawyer.
Right. Saying, and then they went to him and he was like, sorry, he doesn't get involved in this kind of dirty stuff. And
right.
blah, blah, blah.
Because apparently Shannon wanted to bring it up. No, I'm
no,
getting it
she would.
confused.
No,
She didn't want to bring it up
Heather
at the
was saying
was
basically
else.
like, "Are you gonna tell this?
Yeah,
are you gonna tell this to Jen?" And she was like, "Well, I wasn't gonna talk to her when she was screaming and yelling and blah 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 blah."
Yeah, okay.
And then of course they talked about.
So we're
her
hearing
gut.
like hearsay stuff from something someone told Tamara at the gym when she had her gym. Who cares?
And the thing is, if Ryan was
is
named
there
in the
any
lawsuit,
validity to that?
okay.
I don't
If
know.
he was named in the lawsuit, okay. But guess what? He didn't go to jail for it.
No.
So
She
shut
said
up.
People went to jail for it. He didn't go to jail for it.
He
So
was named apparently
Are
in
we
the
taking that
lawsuit.
as what it is? I mean, we don't know.
So now they're all going. Jen goes to her new best friend, Katie. And she was
Yeah,
like, Katie, let's go get a drink. So
Yeah.
off they go. And
Off
then
they go.
Tamara, Heather, and Gina meet for lunch. I love how they're
They
split
have
up.
caviar.
I love how they're split up. Yeah. And then, Tamara pulls the old, like, I can't say cunt and caviar in the same sentence. But I was like, this is why.
Tamara's a little trashy.
But she's absolute trashy. That is why Heather looks
I'm being
dirty hanging out with her.
She does.
But let's talk about what they said. So it was funny. Wait, I have to mention though when Jen and Katie go and they were with who else? Emily, right? And she was like, "Do you have Malibu and Diet Coke?" They're like, "Malibu Barbie wants her Malibu and Diet Coke." She's like, "I don't care. That's my drink wherever I am."
for her.
Don't they drink Guinness? Guinness, a beer? Don't they drink beer here?
Guinness, a beer.
That was funny.
But
So-
they did have Malibu at the bar in London, so that was great.
But they start talking about how Heather's, they tell Heather that, what's her name? Katie's kids don't like Heather because she's mean or bossy. And she was like, I'm out. She almost started crying.
She actually had tears.
She
in
did
her
have tears in
eyes.
her eyes, and she
So
was
I
like,
think this was like
I'm out.
Kylie, who's Katie's daughter, was babysitting
Either way,
Emily's
these
twin
are
sons.
8-year-olds. These are
And
8.
they said, Heather, we don't like Heather. She's mean to my mom.
And then she said she's bossy. And
She's
then Katie's
bossy.
like, she's bossy. And then Heather's like, I'm out. You can't use your 8-year-olds as megaphones. I'm out. And then that's when they, say the see you next Tuesday line. And she's like, can't. And then she was like, that's it. But again, Heather, you cannot be classy hanging out with Tamara. Sorry.
No.
You just can't be little miss. But you know what? No matter how much Heather gets herself a little bit in the muck, she really rides the fence well. And
Yeah.
I somehow always come off liking Heather. Like
Really?
I don't
'Cause
hate her.
I'm so
I don't
not
hate her.
liking her at all. This
I don't. I'm
season.
not crazy for what's going on right now.
I liked her at the beginning of the season,
But I
not
always
now.
somehow go, Heather kind of slides her way out. She knows how to ride that fence.
Yeah.
But she is getting dirty because she's hanging out with the mudslinger that is
Do you
Tamara.
think at this moment right now, do you think she's freaking out because fans are like so upset with her? Because I could see
I
Heather
could
being
s-
like,
yes.
oh my God, everybody hates
But
me.
Heather's also
I look
been
so
on the show.
horrible on TV
But
right
Heather's been on this show for a long time.
She
and
has,
she
yeah.
will. She's married
She's
to Terry
used to it.
Dubrow, and she's gonna somehow, roll it back around because her Instagram is all about we spent time with Nikki in wherever he is in France or in Italy.
Yeah,
So it's all
right.
about like her
Seeing
family
the
and her cute
world.
family and
Okay.
stuff. Now, I love
Okay.
how we come back from commercial and Heather's like, we're going to an etiquette class. And Tamara's like, is it just me or is it etiquette for everybody? And I love that she like
She kind of
leans
puts her hands,
forward,
she's like,
spreads eagle. And she's like, so. And I'm like, she's doing her best sailor impression. Like,
yeah, she
so.
is. Like, oh, great.
Me or just everybody? Actually, it should be just you.
I think it
Tamara.
was meant for her.
So now
Yeah.
let's talk about oh my God, Shannon backed up, bloated. Emily
she hasn't
too.
pooped in 3 or 4 days.
She's like, I'm starting to get really bloated, and I'm.
oh my,
But then,
yeah.
but then she
Katie
runs
had
back.
some magic pills.
She's
that-
like, oh no, I know. Well, she was giving it to Emily because Emily's got the same
Emily's
problem.
got the same
Only
problem.
women have this issue. Men would be like, back up.
Well, can
move
we talk
over."
about that? Now, when I go on vacation, this happens to
It
me.
happens
Does that
to
happen
me
to
too.
you
It happens to everybody.
I don't know. It's
women,
not that
women.
You have
It's
to go
women.
overseas. You could just go away.
It's
I don't know what
it's
it is.
ruining the timing. It's ruining the
yeah,
whole.
that's what it is.
Your whole homeostasis is thrown off. But when Heather's like, I'm backed up. Not Heather. Shannon's like,
It's like,
I'm
I am backed up.
I'm backed up
Yep, she has.
and I'm bloated. But then when she started to cry. And I was
Bowed
like, okay,
over
so
in pain.
right. And then she had to run back to the room, and Katie had to go down and get her an enema.
An enema.
And then they're all standing there, and she's like, I need privacy. And I'm like, can we shut off Shannon's microphone before she does her butt symphony, like her butt? She's doing her butt trumpet.
Didn't Katie say she administered the enema?
She was like, she's like, not only have I never bought anyone an enema, I've never offered to administer it to anyone. And I was like, shut her microphone off before she goes into the butt symphony. She's doing her best butt trumpet.
Yeah.
And I was like, let this woman take a crap. And then she gets to the lunch. She's like, I feel like I've given birth to a baby.
Yeah.
To twins.
Yeah.
Because she had to give herself another enema. And they were like, listen. Emily's like, listen. She's given birth to twins. And she's actually saying it's worse. So damn.
That must have been a big old dump.
And she's like, that must have been a big old dump. And then, of course, she's like, I'm going to shit my brains out. I'm going to shit my brains. Just so you guys know, at the etiquette class. And the only one who's paying any attention is fucking Heather.
Of course she is.
Heather's like, oh, no, you wipe your mouth
Heather
in the
was
middle
looking
of the
like,
napkin.
oh, I do that. I do that with the butter.
And
I
it
do
was
that
classic.
with my fork. I do that.
But of course,
So of course.
get there, right? And I like that, Heather's like, why's your back to me, Shannon? Why's your back to me? And she was like, can we go talk?
She's all paranoid.
Can we go talk?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go and talk. And then she's like, look, Sonoma, when we were in Sonoma, I came to you as a friend.
I am with Shannon.
I am with Shannon on this, too. She's like, I came to you as a friend.
Way.
I'm showing you. She's like, well, and then Heather's like, and she's like, I showed you the picture of me with the blood on my face, and I just needed a friend. And I was really trying to rekindle a girlfriend relationship with you at the time. And she was like, and why? And then you told everybody, and I want to know why. Mm-hmm. And then Heather's comeback was, this is really bullshitty. Because Tamara already knew. And I was like, other people knew. And she's like, well, I should have just never told you. That is why I shouldn't have shared with you. Mm-hmm. And
look, I said this before. Shannon was having a very vulnerable moment. She needed somebody to talk to in that moment.
Shannon
Who
is
gives a crap if she
freaking
talked
mess.
to Tamara about it in the past and other people knew. She was talking to Heather about it in that moment. She broke down with Heather in that moment in Sonoma. She was hysterical. She said to Heather, please don't share this with others.
She goes, no.
And Heather goes, we're not going to talk about it
right.
in the group.
We don't
and then
need
Heather
to bring it to the group. And then she's like,
bring it to the group.
After dinner, you decide to tell everybody. And it was my mistake. I should have never told you. And I like that Shannon was just like, but little does she know.
Yeah.
She's going to get her ass handed to her by Gina. I'm like,
my God.
Poor Shannon.
Because while they're out there talking,
they're telling Gina,
getting told
Tamara.
Tamara's telling Gina about how Shannon wanted to bring out that Gina pushed Travis down the stairs.
Well, that Shannon wanted it looked into by a lawyer again. It's like, why don't they just become lawyers?
That was the one where she wanted to use in the reunion last year.
Right. She said she called me.
Why did she want to bring that story out?
She wanted to know
she never brought it up in the reunion.
She pushed Travis down the stairs, and Emily, when they told her a few scenes before, she was like, that is jacked. She's like, because that's her children and her stepchildren.
Yeah, that's getting
now
into
we're bringing
her,
the whole thing.
And it's a lawsuit going on with a restraining order with the ex-wife.
God.
So it's a very big deal. It's legal.
Right.
So,
and I thought Gina was going to get more pissed.
She actually was pretty good about it.
She was cool about it because she said, by the way, and then she says to Shannon, she tells her, and she's like, Travis doesn't deserve this. Jen doesn't deserve this. And Tamara was saying, like, look, you guys, Jen and Gina are collateral damage between Tamara and Shannon because Shannon is just blah, blah. And I'm saying Tamara is just coughing up the dirt.
Oh,
she
they're
just
throwing barbs
hates
at each
Shannon.
other.
And when she said to her when she sat down, you're nothing but a drunk.
Yeah,
you're a drunk and a liar.
Oh, please.
That's like
Tamara.
Tamara.
Her go-to with Tamara.
Tamara,
you're a drunk. You're a drunk. You're a drunk.
Tamara,
Enough.
there is no mercy with her. There is absolutely no loyalty to anybody.
Right.
She is right now she's a little loyal to Heather because she's hanging out with Heather for the moment.
She's getting narrowed down with her friends. So Heather's like her only real true ally right now. Because think about this. Gina
Tamara
isn't her
is
ally
horrifying.
right now. Emily's not really her ally right now. Katie and Jen, no. So all she's got is Heather.
But I like that Shannon was like, you know what? Blame me.
Yeah.
I'll take it all. Blame me for everything. Tamara wants me to, forget it on this, horrible trip we've been having. Fine, blame me. And then I think that's why Gina was like, look, I'm blaming everyone. I'm mad at everybody. Nobody deserves this. Blah, 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 blah. And then it was kind of like she just kind of let it.
She
kind of let it drop.
Yeah, she did. But can I ask though? So with Gina supposedly pushing Travis down the stairs, did that really happen, or that was just something, a salacious thing?
Maybe she I don't know why.
Because
even
it probably
Shannon
had something to do with Travis's crazy. He apparently has a crazy ex-wife.
Woman. Yeah,
she's so crazy. Gina was saying that they had to separate from living together because of it. It all has to do with this crazy ex-wife.
Yeah.
Like and again, it's a restraining order and there's court and it's legalities involved. So she
quite
does
frankly,
have to be careful about talking
even
about
if it was that, maybe, who knows, maybe it was something to the effect of, he fell down the steps while they were fighting with the ex-wife.
Right.
Who knows? But like Shannon, what are you doing? Yeah. Shannon, stop. And I don't know if last season Shannon and Gina were fighting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I think they were,
whole thing was
because
nuts.
I think what she was going to get what is it when the child protective custody, what is that?
Oh, yeah, CPS.
CPS.
Child Protective Services.
Shannon was saying she saved Gina from getting CPS after her when she had her DUI. I think that was going on a little bit last season.
She did.
So they were at odds about that because she kept bringing up CPS.
But I love that.
So they went from that to where they are now.
And then, Tamara saying,
This is bullshit. What are you going to do, Shannon?
like you said before,
Hit me? You going to hit me?
and she was like, no. And then she was like, I'm out of here. And she was like, Jen's like, she's a bully.
Yes, she is.
And a mean girl. And then I love that Shannon took off before the freaking cake came. Happy birthday!
It made me feel so bad
Shannon.
for Shannon. You just feel bad.
Emily's like, she's outside. Bring it to her out there.
Actually, Emily was a little funny about
Emily,
it.
I love
She's
Emily.
like, oh, they're bringing the birthday cake.
The comic relief of the cake. And then she was like, I'm not letting toxic people penetrate my life anymore.
I'm getting an Uber. But she apparently flies home by herself. Like, she was so upset she left early.
That is the worst trip. That is the most horrifying trip.
Leaves.
She's
Oh,
doing
what
a
a
butt.
disaster.
She's got a butt symphony going on in the bathroom. She hasn't crapped in 5 days. Everybody's freaking all over with all this shit. Tamara's being a nightmare. Heather's being a jackass.
Yep.
I mean, everybody. And Katie was like, I can't believe, like, when have we had a dinner that just wasn't about crying and screaming and somebody yelling at each other? What's happening?
There was no fight. I know.
And I don't mind Katie, but I don't know.
I mean,
anyway.
Well,
And
here's
next
what I
week,
think.
Jen and Ryan get married.
It's the finale next week.
Holy
too.
shit.
So it's over after this. Okay. So I'm looking forward to next week's episode. And the FBI stuff does come out next week.
Oh, okay.
So I
So
think
he really
Jen
was?
does talk about it.
Was he really somehow involved? There was
Somehow.
something.
Something-
Listen, where
something
there's
with the
smoke,
FBI and
there's
he's
smoke,
getting
there's fire.
investigated, but they're still together right now.
Oh,
so it
good for
can't.
them. Yeah, they
good
were
for
on Watch What
them.
Happens Live. And by the
They're
way,
very happy.
the way, Tamara's the villain this season, but Shannon and Tamara are equally as screwed up and as equally
Yes.
as mean girl, because
They
all
are.
this, when there's back and forth and Shannon did this and Tamara did that, Shannon did this and Tamara did that.
Yes.
We're both doing it. There's mud on both of you.
Yes.
There's smoke, there's fire.
Yep.
So on that note,
On that note, the only thing I'm not happy about next week is that they're going to show Alexis. I've been so happy.
we
not showing
have
Alexis.
Bellino, go away.
Just go away.
Go away with Johnny J.
Yes.
All right. I think we're wrapping it up.
I think so.
The living
we had
room-
a lot to cover.
We had a lot to cover. I feel like I just gave birth to twins. I feel like
did
I've gotten a
too.
lot off my chest.
Yes, we took a lot of dumps.
We did. Listen, we're going to post from Halloween in 2 days at my house. We're going to post. We're going to show you the scary.
So exciting.
Boo. It's pretty rad what's going outside my house.
Amazing out
So everybody, thanks. Watch
so
us on
much.
YouTube. Follow us at Littler Podcast. I've said it 7,000 times. And thanks for listening.
Thanks as always.
We love you guys.
We love you.
All right. Bye-bye.